What's up, all my shrimpy friends? How you doing? I'm super excited that I'm expanding my colony, kind of leveling up my game here in my breeding process with my PRLs. So I have to get some new tanks. I need more space to do what I want to do the selections. And in the process, I figured I'd show you guys. I get a lot of questions about my filter boxes and what I do on my setups, why I use the substrate that I use or what kind to use. But I'm going to give you some tips and tricks I think that'll really help you out in your setups, whichever method you decide to use. Stick around, we'll see you in a bit.
Papa shrimp, Papa shrimp, Papa shrimp.
All right, so one of the reasons that I like to use Stratum is because it's readily available at your fish stores. You don't have to worry about it. I prefer to buy it at Amazon, or if I buy it at the fish store, I'm very particular on what I'm looking for at the bags of substrate at the fish store. So let me show you what I look for. So first thing that I'm looking for is to see if my bag is sealed, right? I like that it has this outer bag. When I order it from Amazon, it comes with an outer bag. But at the pet store, it doesn't usually. It comes like this, blank, open. So what I like to look for is to see that it's sealed all the way across. I like to see if there's any air escaping it, which in this one there's a little bit, but not very much. The soil itself, I can kind of tell that it's moist and not dry. If it was dry, you would hear it like little gravel pebbles in the bag. You don't hear it very much, that means it's nice and moist, which is what you want, especially since I'm using it as my substrate or my media for filter boxes. I want it to be good, fresh soil that I know is going to last me as long as possible. So that's tip number one. Always check your bags. See if they're holding air, and if they aren't, they have a leak somewhere. I'm not worried about this bag because it came in an outer bag, so it was sealed pretty good until I started squishing it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fill these up and go from there. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm putting them in the aquariums and kind of my thinking of why I do it the way I do it. Okay, so here we go. I got 3 of the filters all set up, filled up with fresh substrate, and ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is take care of this aquarium right here. I took out one of the filters because I'm going to clean them. I'm going to replace them both, but I'm starting with just one. And one of these new ones is going to go in here to replace that filter. I'm going to pull this one out of this tank and clean it out and put another one of the new ones in here. So this one will be set up. It's already been running for about 4 or 5 days, and it's a little cloudy, but I've just been running the sponge filter and letting that filter just kind of seed the water with bacteria, or seed the tank with bacteria. So basically what I did was take out that filter that's missing in this aquarium right here, and I put it in the other aquarium to start the seeding process. Originally, when I had put substrate in this tank, the filters were already in there. So now that I'm switching them out, I'm going ahead and cleaning out a little bit of an area there. I know most people would get freaked out that I'm disturbing the substrate and kind of creating a little bit of muck in the tank. Maybe some of you might notice the shrimp are starting to swim around a little bit more frantically. Of course, this video is sped up. But what I've noticed when I do this is a lot of good stuff comes out from the substrate, and the shrimp go crazy and start munching. So that's basically what you're seeing here. Now, as soon as I turn the water on, of course, you see all of the detritus float around, and it's looking pretty dirty in there. In this one, very little dust comes off of the substrate, so there's no need to wash the substrate prior. All right, so here we go. The day after I replaced this box filter on the right side, and look at how the water's doing. It cleared up pretty good. And to be honest, it was about 3 hours later when it was already about this clear. As you can see here, the shrimp, they're doing great. They're happy. They're eating. No issues with the reset. Here's the other tank, day after. It's looking good. I'm gonna do some, I'm gonna pull this out, of course, and then I'm gonna clean up, vacuum up this debris on the bottom. And then I'm gonna probably add a little thin layer of soil, kind of similar to this one. And it's pretty much, I think this is what I've pretty much gone with and decided to do for my quote-unquote leveling up my shrimp game. Level 1 is just getting my setup right. And here's my setup that I'm comfortable with. I got it in this tank. You got it in this tank. This tank, it doesn't have any substrate in it on the bottom at all. I'm using combination sponge filter and filter box. Same thing here. Sponge filter, filter box. This one still needs to be changed out. It's from my original setup. And this is the main reason why I'm talking about leveling up my game. If you see here with my PRLs, step 1 is the setup. Step 2, I believe, or level 2, is getting them healthy and breeding. And now, level 3 is selection. And this is where I start to separate the different patterns, colors, different characteristics that I like and I want to breed into my different lines. Now, it's crazy because I'm thinking I'm going to end up having 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different lines of PRLs just from what I see. Just really looking to get more stabilized with the patterns, so that way I can have some consistency instead of such variations like you see in these tanks. And of course, I'm definitely going to make space so that way I have enough aquariums to do some really focused selection with my black galaxies. But I'm definitely leveling up my game with my black galaxies as well. And it'd be a shame if I didn't start working really hard on these guys and doing much better job of not just quantity, but more specific patterns. Just like I have with my black galaxies and my PRLs. So it's time to get to work, level up my shrimp game. I hope you stick around and check out some of my videos as I go through the process. And let's learn together. I love shrimp. See you next time.